Lately, Bill Maher has been saying some really suspect things, going more to the center, becoming moderate, all but endorsing Amy Klobuchar as the best candidate to take on Donald Trump. Everyone heard that and they were like, what the hell are you saying, Bill Maher? Mr. Politically Incorrect? Like, what are you saying? But this whole impeachment situation seemingly has shocked him back into place. He is now reaching the realization that we are not playing by normal political rules anymore. Watch what he says about this upcoming election.
Well, to a degree, do we want the progressive? I like Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, but I feel mostly, or have said, that, somebody like Pete or Amy Klobuchar could win more easily. But I tell you why Bernie Sanders is attractive to me now? Because he's the only Democrat who, like Trump, has an army. Who, when it gets to this other level, he's got a bunch of badass motherfuckers who will get in the streets.
Finally, Bill, I always say that Bernie Sanders is needed this election because he's the only person who can beat Donald Trump at his own game. We are not playing by normal political standards. And I guess this impeachment process is what it took to wake Bill Maher up. Amy Klobuchar, are you kidding me? You think Amy Klobuchar is going to muster enough energy to beat Donald Trump? Are you kidding me? We need somebody on the ground who can lead a movement. And the media will take this message and totally distort it. When he says that Bernie, like Trump, has a strong movement, an army of badass mother truckers who will get in the streets, the media will always say, oh, Bernie bros are just like MAGA hats. It could not be further from the truth. When I talk Bernie Sanders and his army, when we talk about his force, his movement, like I went to a Bernie Sanders organizing event and there were about 10 people in the room and every single person there was there because they had some type of trauma, some type of personal struggle, some type of human problem that we could all relate around. Healthcare issues, housing crises. Like these are people who are struggling and they come around and gather around this common human struggle and around that use that as power to fight for what they believe in. These are people across the country, progressive activists who have been waiting their whole lives for a presidential candidate they could actually get behind because our two-party system is all conservative. How am I supposed to go and help get Joe Biden elected? And besides, looking from a pure political science perspective of what voters are available and which voters already have their minds made up. In the Trump era, you either love Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump. This created an extremely polarized climate where 95% of the country is already going to be made up. You aren't in the middle on Donald Trump. You pretty much know how you feel about him. There's a little sliver in there, like 5% of likely voters that we can fight for with a Pete Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Biden, Bloomberg, anyone in the middle. But on the other side of that, there are 108 million people who are eligible voters that do not participate in this political process. So should we go for that 5% in the middle or go for the 108 million people on the outside? And another argument for that, if you don't elect Bernie Sanders, you don't just lose the army, you literally lose their votes. Every person who is a Joe Biden supporter, every person who is a Bloomberg, Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg supporter will vote Democrat no matter what. It's not the same for Bernie Sanders. And there's a lot of Yang supporters as well, Tulsi supporters as well that are like that. They will vote for a Bernie, but past that, they will not vote. They will just sit out the process. So if you vote a centrist, you're losing that left base. They only have their vote. Their vote is their only political power in their lives. They would rather sit out the election and let Donald Trump win than to support another corporatist for the supposed left party. So hopefully this means Bill Maher has come to the realization that we are in a populist era. If you have a populist vacuum and you don't let the actual populist win in Bernie Sanders, then a fake populist fascist will almost always fill that void. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. I will be going live Sunday night and Monday night. First on Sunday to predict the outcome of the Iowa caucuses, and then on Monday to cover the results. It should be really, really interesting and fun. Please comment what you think about Bill Maher's sudden change back to the normal him, and thank you. Yeah.